Okay, should we start?
How do we start? Hi.
Okay, hello everybody. So I'm Disney Girl 161 episode, and this is Sam.
Yep.
She's gonna be my partner for today's video. I did a poll asking, yes, Phoebe, yes, sorry, and Phoebe's also here. You can't see her, but she's there. This is she, this is her. So I did a poll on my story if you'd like me to talk about what happened on Ukrainian national choosing for Eurovision. So here it is. So yeah, we were watching it live. We were having our lovely watch party. And then it came time to voting. And let's just say...
It was not good.
It was an experience.
It was fun.
I was pissed.
It was not fun.
I was pissed, and technically what happened, the voting app broke and it was not working, and it broke exactly when the voting started. As I was checking it constantly, waiting to vote, and it was working, and then suddenly they announced, okay, everybody vote, and I entered the app and it's not working. So yeah, we were watching it live. We were having our lovely watch party, and then it came time to voting, and let's just say
It was not good.
it was an experience.
It was fun.
I was pissed.
It was not fun.
I was pissed, and technically what happened, the voting app broke and it was not working, and it broke exactly when the voting started. As I was checking it constantly, waiting to vote, and it was working, and then suddenly they announced, okay, everybody vote, and I entered the app and it's not working. Yes. And allegedly some parts of the live show were recorded.
Oh, fun.
Like they were not even live. It's like some bits were, but some bits weren't. So that's interesting. Like allegedly, it's just like a whole messed up situation. So technically what happened was we were waiting for 2 hours, I think, for the app to work. And
it was a good long while.
And technically it didn't start working. So they're like, okay, we're gonna give everyone a full night to vote. And this is the first time in Eurovision history, at least for Ukraine, that we have a day to vote. Usually it's like 2 hours right after performances. I voted, and again, the app was constantly being weird, but somehow it did show that I voted.
And I mean, it's a government-run app too, right? Like,
yes.
It's not just some random app that's specifically for this. It's a consistent thing.
It's the fact that a lot of people try to hack it, and they couldn't, just because it's a very strong app, and here suddenly it stopped working. Suddenly it broke. All I can say as a viewer, because I cannot speak for the artist, because I'm not an artist, but as a viewer, I felt like I was being forked over.
It was definitely weird and kind of suspicious.
Yeah, no, it was definitely suspicious. I was really pissed. I was actually here. This is at Sam's place. I was walking around, I was pissed, and I was just giving every freaking swear word that I know in every freaking language that I speak, which are 6. It was a very entertaining view for others. I was the only one that could vote, just because I'm the only Ukrainian from my watch party. Phoebe was also pissed. She even flew to me.
Yeah. Phoebe occasionally would fly around screaming.
There's actually a video of, I filmed a video of her sitting on my shoulder and just also being pissed with me.
Yes, ескандало, неподобство. Yeah.
And what happened was, the next day they did a live showing of results. the judges' votes and the televotes. Let's just say that was very, very interesting.
Well, I mean, there was the one guy whose song was not fun. What's his
You're
name?
talking about Yaktak.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And you
Squidward.
mentioned that the Squidward.
The Devin Squidwards, yeah.
And you mentioned that like he has a big online following.
Yes, and
Yeah.
on TikTok, he has like a huge fan base.
Yeah, and so of course, it's hard to trust the credibility of the votes if people aren't actually seeing the live performances, if they're basing it off of a person's online presence.
Yeah, like this is where the overnight voting comes in, and it's just the problem. There's too many problems with that, but one of those problems is the fact that there's been a lot of people who didn't even vote the performances. They're like, okay, I know this person. I don't even know what I'm voting for, but I'm gonna cast my vote just because I know this person. And this is, this is Eurovision Song Contest. This is like a thing. It's not a random poll on YouTube that's asking what color is the apple, green, yellow, or red. This is a big deal. Another thing with votes, so there is a 600,000 difference of votes between first and second place. There's 11 contestants.
Yeah.
And based on what people were saying online, after watching the performances, they weren't certain for whom to vote just because there's been so many good performances. And the results are saying, okay, we just liked one performance and we voted for that performance. It just doesn't make sense.
And just for context, I did do a bit of reading and math, and that 600,000 is about like 1.2, I think it was 1.6 something percent of the entire Ukrainian population. And so that's including people who probably weren't able to vote, people who didn't want to vote, people who maybe just whatever. And so for it to be that big just in the difference, not even in the total amount of votes, that's not even, it just doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous.
It's just let's just say math left the chat. The performance that won and got most of the votes wasn't even that great. Because we can't say, okay, this was the only good performance there was in the nationals, and that's why they got so many points.
I think we had 5 people in our watch party and none of us were overly impressed with the winning performance. But it is opinion.
Yes, it is opinion. We don't understand that there are people who like it, but just based on what people were saying in the comments and the live chat and what like other people that we know are saying, it just doesn't make sense. They're obviously not favorite. Like not at least not for a difference of 600,000 votes. Well, personally, in my opinion, what I think should be done to kind of calm down this whole mess and fix this mess, I think that if it's possible to make a vote again, not through this app, maybe like somewhere else, that, or if there's no other option of how for people to vote now, then I just say let's just go with the jury votes.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that would mean that Naczvidbir should be going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they got the most points from the juries. Another problem that there is some contestants confirmed that what they heard was that there is a label, musical label, that proposed to pay the majority of cost for participants to go to Eurovision this year. And that label works with the winners of the national choosing, aka, hi Phoebe, aka the ones that have 600,000 difference in votes between first and second place. You have a breakdown right before the voting, and then you have these people winning with like a ridiculous difference of votes. 3, you have their label proposing to pay the most of cost.
Yeah.
So, like,
Rigor Morris, girl. It was rigor Morris, girl.
Who's Morris? Rigor mortis.
Rigor Mortis?
I mean, if it was like 2 of the things adding up, it would be like, okay, maybe it's a coincidence, but it's a bit more than 2.
overall, to describe this year's National Ukrainian choosing as a meme, that would be that.
Oh my god, what is that? What is that? What is it? It's a spider. Oh my god. Mom!
Okay, let's talk about our favorites.
Okay. I think among our group at least, there was a collective agreement that Melvin's was the top.
He slayed.
You and Elias had been trying to get me into Melvin's work for a while, and I wasn't really seeing the big deal until I saw him perform there. And it was remarkable.
You're a
So,
part of our cult now.
I'm a part of the cult. We were all screaming. There
We
was
were.
some screaming.
I mean, I have my reel on, and you can tell there was a lot of and there's been a lot of reactions.
I was talking to my mom about the importance of Melvin being queer, being openly queer. And I basically was like, well, you know, back in like the 70s and the 80s, Elton John and Queen's members coming out, or not Queen's members, but specifically, the ADHD brain, I can't remember his name. Freddie Mercury, that's the guy's name. Elton John and Freddie Mercury coming out as openly queer was a huge deal and pushed the queer movements forward by coming out openly. And so Melvin being open and honest about that is actually a really big deal, especially in places where it's not always safe to be open about that.
Yeah, I think Eurovision overall has been very, very pro-queer and accepting.
Yeah.
But it's always nice to see representation.
It is nice to see representation.
Another thing what I love about Melvin is he's always honest and he will
Yeah.
always speak his mind, no matter what. If he
Yeah.
believes in something, he's gonna say it.
But I think it's important to have openly queer artists, no matter who or where you are, just because it's a way of normalizing it and of keeping it seen.
Yeah. Also, this reminds me. Well, if he really did not get that many votes as we thought he would, then I guess levels of homophobia in Ukraine is way higher than I thought.
But like, it wouldn't surprise me. Not that I think it would be like some nefarious scheme of people just being like, how can we stop this openly queer artist?
No, oh my god.
But I definitely know in the past there have been artists who had setbacks because of homophobia. So it wouldn't be that far-fetched.
Our other favorites is Zifferblatt.
Yeah.
Or it's hard to say Zifferblatt in English. So okay, so what do we call them?
Are we talking about the vampires?
Yeah.
Vampires?
So we call them Ukrainian vampires. Yeah.
They look like vampires.
They do look like vampires.
And it's a vibe.
It's a vibe, yeah, it's a vibe. Totally unrelatable. I know a lot of people have been saying, who does the Valentine look like from the Ukrainian Vampires band. So we're about to take the gold. So we think that Valentine should cosplay Valentine.
Yeah.
And no, you didn't hear me wrong. Valentine from Monster High, and like, you can't tell me that they don't have the same vibe. It's just, I feel like he already has like some stuff in his wardrobe that he could use for his cosplay. Like, seriously. Cyferblatt's song was just so beautiful, and as a Ukrainian person, I could feel it in my soul and my heart, and it just really touching, and just quality music, new music, new Ukrainian music. Come on, like, bring it on. So excited for like their future projects and everything.
Yeah. But I will say I didn't follow any of them online until after the performances with the nationals.
I mean, I feel like they're, for everyone, they were a new discovery. So
yeah, we know what Phoebe's two favorite songs were.
oh yeah. So Phoebe she was really vibing with Malavin.
She likes it.
Yeah, Phoebe? Yeah? Yeah? You like Malavin? Who else?
The other one was the Slavic English.
Oh yes, those are her favorites.
She had a blast.
Are we shady?
We are shady.
My first place goes to Malavin.
Yeah.
It's a very solid live performance. Everything was there. It was screaming Eurovision.
And we love the mix of like falsetto with some belting. It was beautiful.
He also had zero vocalists, like at the back, zero back vocalist. It was just him and the stage, and he slayed.
Yeah.
Period.
And his charisma on stage. His stage presence.
It's definitely obvious that he has a lot of experience.
It
He won
is,
X
yeah.
Factor, he won the Masked Singer Ukraine,
Yeah.
he's done a lot of concerts. It's just, you can see the experience. And he also was in Eurovision in 2018. And he was robbed. His performance was amazing, but he was robbed. But yeah, you can just see the experience that he has.
Yeah.
Second place, Cyferblatt.
Yeah. The
Hi, Phoebe.
Ukrainian vampires.
The Ukrainian vampires. Something new, something fresh. They were amazing. The message of the song is amazing.
Like, you could tell they were nervous, but it didn't take away too much from the performance, and it was fun.
I think what I saw in the reels is they said that they didn't have enough time to rehearse on stage. I don't know whether there's some drama and whether
Or if
they
it's
were just
just-
not giving enough time to rehearse. I don't know, but I could definitely see it as a theater person. I could definitely see that they didn't have enough time to work with the set.
Yeah.
Just because every time Daniel wanted to use those stairs,
He seemed hesitant. He didn't
Yes.
really trust them.
Yes.
Which really says I don't know my set. Did I drop something?
Phoebe. Overall, they were wonderful, and I think I speak for both of us when I say we would love to see them
Oh yeah.
on Eurovision stage as well. Third place, Nazva, Slavic English.
Phoebe's favorite.
It's just amazing. I feel like if there was a strong performance giving to them, a strong set that screams meme,
You know what? Their set wasn't there, but the performance was. Like, the performance was so much fun to watch.
Yes, no, I mean, like, if they were to win and go to
Oh, yeah.
Eurovision, a memeable performance plus their charisma,
It would be fun.
I think it will be on the same level as Give the Wolf a Banana from Subwoofer or the Sax Guy. Fourth place, I have Drevo, Endless Chain.
I can't pronounce the name, but I also have him.
What I think most of our watch party thought that he was good looking.
Yeah, there were a few comments about smashing, and not so much from us. That was from one specific person. It was fun. The point is, he had the charisma. We had fun watching it.
Yes.
It definitely was very rock and roll.
And I think it was different from what we've been sending before. So I do think that he would be recognized
Yeah.
pretty well.
And rock music is definitely kind of in right now.
For sure. I think the only minus that it had, the vibes were giving Maneskin, and I think that's what the jury said as well.
Yeah.
That was like the only negative thing, I would say.
Well, again, it felt very typical rock.
Yeah. Next, I have Ingrid with the song Keeper.
Yes.
What do you have?
I also have Ingrid with the song Keeper.
Um,
That was the one, though, where you said it wasn't the best translation for the name.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
Also another thing, the English level was pretty low. I don't think about you, but I could not tell what she was singing.
I think I was able to make out like one or two words. Not even full phrases, like single words.
Out of the whole song.
The whole song.
So like this is where the issue was. And I think she was nervous some parts with vocals were not really there. But overall I do know that she's a very strong singer. And I do think that if she was to win, then she would be a strong competition, and you can always train, because like you would have time to rehearse with the lyrics.
And I mean, even without understanding what she was saying, it was a strong performance.
Yeah, the dress.
The dress.
I like the color was pretty. It's just
It could have been a beautiful dress. I think it was the wrong fabric was what we agreed on
maybe
for that
shape.
one.
Maybe shape.
It was either shape or fabric. There was something about it that just felt very flat. But again, I think that could be fixed in a future performance.
Yeah.
Like, fashion choices were not there.
but they are fixable.
Yeah.
Next, I have Yahode Tsunami.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, it's Yahode.
Yahode?
Yahode.
Yahode?
Yahode.
Yahode.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where ours kind of differ because I have Inca.
You also have Yahode.
Oh, wait. Never mind. I'm looking at a different thing.
Our fifth place is Yahode Tsunami.
It was fun.
It was fun. I like the energy, like the outfits. Too many things happening on stage.
Yeah.
It was hard to follow. You were like, we didn't know where to look.
It was too much going on, but again, that's something that can be fixed in a future performance. The vocals were there, and the energy was there, and everyone looked like they were having fun, which really that's what it's about.
Next, I have Nahaba Glass.
And this is where it differs. Because I have, can't pronounce, or I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it
Anka
Anka?
Palala.
Okay, Anka with Palala.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why I chose Nahaba is next. Very extra performance. It's definitely a very niche type of music, but I do think if we were to choose to go that direction, that would be good. I know there are some issues with the song being kind of similar to one of the other existing songs from a Russian band called Tattoo, but I think those two songs, if you were to compare them, they're giving different vibes. So I think that's okay, but it's just for me it's very important to be different in Eurovision and to stand out, and I do think they would definitely stand out from others.
Yeah. I put Anka just because I did have fun watching the performance. It was interesting. And the vocals were just so there. Like, the vocals were fantastic. And I mean, the performance was a little lacking, but I think that just added a little more to it, and it could have been a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
I think it just had a lot of potential.
My 8th place goes to Skylar with song Time is Running Out. Nice vocals. It's just, for me, there was nothing unique or special about it. Also, there was too many things and overlapping themes in the performance, like the outfit, the dancers, the background. It was just too much and not really cohesive together. That was my problem. But again, she's not bad,
Yeah.
so she's not my last choice. But it's just, personally, I can't put her higher just because of these things.
Yeah, my 8th was Nahaba. Very fun performance. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was exhausting to watch.
The shade of it all.
I don't know what was happening on the stage. I couldn't follow along at all. There were times where it felt a little disjointed, like one of the singers was trying to portray a different emotion than the other one. But overall, it was unique. It was interesting. It was a lot, though.
My 9th place goes to Anka with Palala.
And my 9th place goes to Skylar.
For me, there was just same thing as with Skylar, just nothing special, nothing stood out to me. So it's, again, not bad. It's just, I didn't think that it's something unique and special.
For Skylar too, though, I don't know what was happening on the stage. The dancers seemed like they enjoyed their time on the stage more than anyone else.
Here comes the shade.
Good job, dancers.
It's a singing competition.
I know it's a singing competition. The vocals were good, but they weren't really unique. Like, nothing stood out to me about them. The whole performance just didn't feel very cohesive overall.
My 10th place is Alona and Jerry Hale with song Teresa Maria.
Yeah, me too.
There's no chemistry going on.
The outfits didn't even match. They looked like they were doing two different performances.
It's just like the background. It's
The background with the different outfits and the lack of interaction on stage, it was...
For me, there's been a lot of memes going on about the nun. But then, I don't know whether they did it on purpose for the background to look like the nun from the horror movie The Nun. Like the Valak, the demon. Or did they really think that it looks good? Also, remember, like, you told me that you don't understand what they're singing?
Yeah, I couldn't catch a single word.
And you know what
said.
I found? I caught a mistake. So there's a part where they singing Znamy Mama Teresa in Ukrainian, and then they sing the same thing in English. So they're saying with us Mama Teresa, but the thing is, in English, it's not Mama Teresa, it's Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
It's not Teresa, it's Teresa.
Yeah.
It's not just one word that's sung once in the song, it's repetitive.
Did you notice, did they say Mary in English or did they say Maria in the English? Because it would also be Mother Mary.
That's a good question. I don't think they're singing Mary.
It's Mary. It's Jesus' mom. Hello.
It's English. You can't just sing wrong words.
If any of it is supposed to be in English, though, it's incomprehensible. I couldn't catch a single word.
My issue is that so many people were coming at Malavin and saying that he has whatever English mistakes or issues with the lyrics. And no one spoke about the fact that literally they're singing Teresa instead of Teresa.
So I will say, first of all, English music artists have mistakes with their English. It's part of music. You can't have perfect English when you're writing a song. It doesn't work. Most of the time, there are exceptions. But Melvin's English was comprehensible. I could hear what he was saying, and I could understand what he was saying. So, there's that.
There's that.
I mean, if they weren't trying to talk about such important people, like religious figures, it wouldn't be a big deal because they're just names. And Teresa is a name in English as well, same with Maria. But these are like religious figures and they actually hold significance in many ways. So it just kind of loses some of the meaning.
I am afraid though that religious people are gonna get offended, and it's just religion is a very they're just walking on thin ice with this just because there are a lot of different religions and I think they're walking on a really thin ice with religion just because there's so many different religions in Eurovision, and at the same time they're not even naming those religious figures correctly in English, so it's just like
I think we already mentioned a few things we didn't like, but like basically the performance felt very disjointed. There wasn't any chemistry on stage. It didn't even feel like they were in the same performance. It felt like they were giving two different. The backup singers did a lot of the heavy lifting throughout the song, and there were some parts where the vocals just weren't there. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Phoebe joined us. There are just 4 back vocalists, and
you can tell at parts they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting, like when Jerry Hale doesn't have the mic, you can still hear most of the music. There's not a lot.
There's just so many issues with performance, so it's that's why they are on 10th place for us.
And also there were a few notes that they didn't hit quite right that I think...
Oh, you've noticed that?
I mean, I think Elias pointed it out when we were watching.
I didn't notice, but it's just, again,
I could be thinking of something else.
Too many issues with the performance. Last place for me is Yaktak.
I would have to agree with that.
There's just been too many drama connected with the song apart from the performance. He used a musical sample that other performers have used as well. And based on Eurovision rules, it has to be an original song, and kind of like using a sample that other artists are using already, it's not right and it's not allowed. Usually his genre of music is very lyrical, very like romantic, and for Yes, Miss Phoebe? What are you doing? Parkour? Not being your true self when creating music is not a very good path to be on. And then for the performance, there was just... He was trying to be this cool guy, but it was reading like cringy guy. I will say it in Ukrainian, пацанчик з району, I don't know, like man in the hood, a boy in the hood, I don't know, like not in the hood like as in clothes, but like in the hood.
Yeah, like, I think there are a few words you can use for it here, but I've definitely heard more gangster.
Yeah, he was trying to be this like gangsta boy, but it was just giving cringe. Also those dancers.
We called them Squidward.
We called them Squidward because they look like squids.
We also called them Cthulhu a couple times. Also, there were a few points where the vocals just weren't there, and it was so repetitive. It was a very uninspired overall.
To conclude this video, I think we already mentioned what we think should be done regarding this whole mess with the voting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tea was spilled.
That's the tea.
That's the tea. thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed all the craziness that you've just seen. And yeah, just like leave a comment, let us know what you think about it. If you want to be shady in the comments, go ahead and do that. You're very welcome to do whatever you want.
That being said, be respectful.
Yeah, well, thank you for watching, and to the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
If you ask for our opinion, we will give you our opinion.